You pick up your phone for 1 second and boom, 30 minutes, gone. Today, I'm sharing 3 simple, realistic tips students can actually use to stop doom scrolling without deleting apps and without relying on willpower. Hi there, if you're new here, my name is Presh, and I started a company called Executive Function Tutors, where we coach students to feel less overwhelmed and more confident managing school and life responsibilities. With that, let's jump into it. Hide your phone. When you're doing homework, studying, or getting ready for bed, your phone doesn't need to be next to you. It needs to be out of sight. Every time you see your phone, your brain has to use energy to fight it and not check it. And that's exhausting. It's because our brains have been wired by these dopamine machines that every time you look at it, you get a notification, you hear a ding, it makes you want to crave it, makes you want to see and use it more. So to fight that temptation, you can put your phone right behind your laptop. Let's say you're starting to work on your laptop and you're like, oh, I have the urge to go look at my phone. Then what you do next, grab that phone, open up a door, put that phone right here, and then try to go back to your work. But then if 5 minutes later, you're like, oh wait, I want to grab my phone. It's so easy to grab it. Grab your phone again, put it in the backpack, close that backpack, put this backpack in a room, put it in the closet, close the door, get the key, lock it. Change your notifications. Your phone is designed to pull you in. Think about how many notifications you get in a day. Your school emails, TikTok when your friend posts, Instagram when someone likes your posts, and Roblox telling you to log back in. That constant buzzing, that's usually how doom scrolling starts. And that's why it feels so hard to resist your phone. It's not a self-control problem, it's a design problem. So tip number 2, change your notifications to work for you. This isn't about never using your phone, it's about using it on purpose, not by accident every time you hear a ding or a buzz. Here's how it looks like to change your phone's notifications. I will be using my Google Pixel, but the same walkthrough should apply to iPhones as well. Your first step is to go to your settings app, and in your settings you want to search for notifications, and in notifications there might be a lot of different settings, so we're only looking for app notifications. And in this view you will see a list of all of your apps in your phone, and if it's toggled on it means that you're receiving notifications. If it's toggled off it means you're not. So in this case I'm not receiving notifications for YouTube, Spotify. I should probably turn off Thumbtack and Sound Connect. So all of these that I just turned off, I'm no longer receiving those notifications. The ones that are toggled on, like the calendar app, if I click it, I can do more customizations of what that notification looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and click calendar notifications. Here, if I like it to always be a ring or a vibrate, I can select that. If I want it to be silent, then there's no sound or vibration, it'll just pop up onto my phone. The goal is for you to think about which are all the apps that you find distracting and what would it look like if you turn off the notifications. When you control your notifications, your phone stops deciding for you when your attention gets interrupted. Now, if you're absolutely against this idea, that brings us to tip number 3, use an app blocker. If certain apps are your biggest distractions, which you can see in your screen time report in your settings, then you don't actually need to delete them. Instead, you need to create a boundary. One app I recommend to my students is ScreenZen. And no, this video is not sponsored by them. It lets you limit how often you open an app. It can add a short pause before you open that app, or you can block it during your homework or sleep hours. Here's what that looks like. You can download ScreenZen in your App Store or Google Play Store. Once it's downloaded, you can open it up. And currently I have a limit for how often I see Instagram or open up Instagram. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a limit to another app. So here I do check Reddit quite often, so I'm going to check off Reddit, and I am going to add a time window of how often it's going to limit my usage for it. We do have an option called strict blocking. If you select that, it's going to really prevent you from, when you click it, it's not going to open. So this can be really useful if you just need a lock-in and you just study and not be distracted by any of your apps. In this case, I'm just going to do limit to help reduce my screen time. I configure how many times I can open it in the day and for how long each time I click it should last. So here, let's say my daily opens should be 3 times, and my session length, I like to be in Reddit for about 7 minutes. And I can also customize what happens after I reach my daily limit of 3. Not going to do that, so I'm just going to go ahead and click next. When you click the app, you can also configure what it shows. Here it just says a mindful pause. You could also have a intervention where it asks you to do a breathing exercise instead of looking at the app itself. So I'm just going to do a mindful pause, and I'm going to click done. So now it's all set up, and I'm going to go ahead and click save. This means that if I click Reddit, what would happen is ScreenZen's going to show up. It's going to say, is this important? It's going to count me down to open it within 5 seconds. The goal there is to really have me have a pause to see if it's useful to do this right now. And if it's not, I can click close. If it is, because my break time, I can click open, and then I can go ahead and see the app. So it does help me become more mindful of how often I'm opening these certain apps. When you put boundaries on your most distracting apps, then you put yourself back in the driver's seat. At this point of the video, I'm going to give you one bonus tip, which is to set the color settings of your phone to black and white. When our brains see our phones in black and white, it feels more boring. It feels maybe even more calm because there's less stimulation from all the different colors. It makes it easier for our brains to relax, to unwind, and to even calm down before bed. Here's how you can set your color settings to black and white. You can do it in 2 ways. 1, immediately, and then 2, when there's basically your bedtime. So with doing it immediately, you will go to your setting and you want to search for color and click color correction. With color correction, you have a few options. If you want to stick to grayscale, you check off grayscale and then turn on use color correction. Immediately, everything you click an app, it's all going to be gray. And then the second option is if you go to your settings and you only like grayscale at a certain time, like your bedtime, then you can turn off color correction and go back to your general settings. And here we're going to search for bedtime. In bedtime, you can configure when your bedtime is. For me, it's from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And you can also click display setting. In display settings, you could enable dark theme, which will turn it to a dark background. And you can also turn on grayscale, which will make your background black and white during your bedtime hours. In this case, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. From my experience, since I only have grayscale during my bedtime hours, it does help my brain feel like I shouldn't use my phone anymore. When I just go on YouTube on grayscale, it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to be able to fall asleep. If you know you struggle with sleep and you struggle to just really go to bed and you still want to have your phone, having grayscale can be one way to just help your brain wind down. All right, let's zoom out for a second. If you take anything from this video, it's this. Willpower alone cannot fix doom scrolling. When your phone is designed to grab your attention, telling yourself, okay, I'll stop using this now, usually isn't enough. What works better is being intentional about your environment, where your phone is, what it shows you, when certain apps are available, and even how your phone looks to you. When you change the environment, stopping doom scrolling gets a whole lot easier. And you don't have to fight yourself every single time. If this was helpful, show some love by liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And now get out of here. Stop doom scrolling, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.